everybody. Today it's currently 7:15 in the morning here in Adelaide, and I've woken up really early because I really wanted you guys to get to know a woman who has been helping me so much in the last couple of months. She's a co-collaborator of the Conscious Motherhood Project, a huge project that I'm currently working on for mums all around the world. It's all about pretty much the revillaging of motherhood and making sure that women really honor who they are and get back to the root of who they are before they're a mum, and just really own themselves. And so hi Kari.
Hi.
What time is it there?
It is 2:48 p.m.
Oh gosh.
I'm in Portland, Oregon. It is actually a beautiful fall day. It's something like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and the fall leaves are just gorgeous and falling. And it's, I grew up in California, so I'm not used to the whole leaves changing and everything. And it's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. I turned my seat heaters on my car this morning. It was amazing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, anyway, just tell me a bit about yourself. Like you're a mum of 3 and.
Sure. Yeah, I'm 34 years old. I'm a mom of, I have 3 boys, William, who is 3.5, Cole, who is 2, and then Austin, who is 4 months. I live in Portland, Oregon with my husband, Scott, and I've lived here for 5 years. I grew up in Southern California, and I've been, essentially just loving life here in the Pacific Northwest. It's very adventurous. We live really close to the mountains, and do you want me to talk a little bit about like where I'm at in terms of like my business or what do you think?
Yeah. Well, that's my next question. Like,
Okay.
I know you are what they say, a mumpreneur.
Yeah.
So just tell me a little bit about like, your journey on how you kind of like what led you to do what you do now.
Sure. So, I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom ever. That was not my deal. I didn't want to. I have been working since I was 13 years old, and I put a lot of energy into my career and making sure that I was on a short trajectory that I was happy with. And when I was a little girl, I imagined myself at the front of a boardroom in a power suit, like just really powerful Ally McBeal style. Just like, that's what I would imagine myself as. I didn't like play dress up or anything like that. I was out with the boys doing stuff. So, that being said, I did have this part of me that would ask other successful mothers, well, what do you do when the kids are in school? Daycare when they're young, I get it, like they're gone all day, but what do you do when they're in school and you have to pick them up from school at 3:00 and get them to soccer practice or dance recital or whatever that looks like? Like that was in the back of my head always, like, what am I going to do when I have kids and I'm working really hard on this career that, I'm not going to be able to get off work at 3:00. So I always had that in the back of my head, and I didn't really know what the solution was, but I kept my ears and heart open to kind of whatever would come my way. Like I said, I've been working since I was 13 years old, and I put a lot of emphasis in having a really amazing career. I most recently worked for Nike for the last 5 years. I was a buyer for them, for their stores. And prior to that, I was in sales. And I had been approached with a network marketing opportunity when I was home with my first son. And when I got on the phone with this woman, she presented this great opportunity about, being a stay-at-home mom and all of this stuff. And it just really didn't solve any of the problems that I had at the time. And so I said, big fat no, thank you. Really, I said to her, hell no. And I'm not going to be one of those people who force myself out on Facebook. I mean, that's literally what I said to her. And because I was hiding those people, and I was saying, no, I don't want any of that. And so, I went back to work. My first day back at work, I was actually 12 weeks pregnant with my second son. So I worked through my pregnancy, had my short 4-month maternity leave, and came back to work, to paying $30,000 a year in childcare. I was extremely time poor. I wasn't taking care of myself. Because I felt so guilty that I wasn't able to pour 100% into my career because I was so focused on my kids as well. And I remember sitting in my car the day that I dropped off my second son at daycare and just crying and saying, like, this is not what I wanted. I didn't want to feel this guilt of him being at daycare while I'm sitting here and being selfish, kind of with the emotions I was going through, that I'm investing in my career. And I really started praying. You know, I'm a Christian, so I was praying, and I just was asking God to open up a door for me. And I didn't know what that door looked like, but I wanted something to come into my life that would allow me to not only be a mom, but still be a career woman. So fast forward, it was 8 months after he was born, 9 months actually, and my sister-in-law came to visit me, and she had done this nutritional cleanse and just looked amazing. And I had still had about 10 pounds I wanted to lose from my second baby, and I just felt like crap. And she looked amazing, and she just like literally had like rainbows shooting out of her. Like she just had this vibrant energy, and I was like, I want what you have because I need it. And I took some time, and I found out it was the same network marketing company that I had been approached with years before. And I just said, okay, you know what? You look amazing. You're someone I trust. I'll try it. And very quickly, you know, I put these products in my body, and I felt amazing. And so I said, sure, I'll get these products paid for free. And early on in my experience, in my product experience, I had also gone to a meeting and seen these women who were 30 years old. You know, each of them had a couple kids, and they were talking about what this opportunity had done for them. And I was looking at them saying, you know, they're not doing anything different than I could do what they're doing. Like, that doesn't seem very difficult, because they're just presenting these amazing products that I was already using and putting in my body, and I felt amazing. And at the end of the meeting, one girl, Laura Stevens, said, you know, they had some of the successful leaders on the team stand up and talk about what their biggest week or month was. And Laura Stevens got up and said that she had a $40,000 month. And my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what? Wait, she's not doing anything special. You know, I mean, she's special, but like what she's actually doing is not special. So my mind was just open, and I started, you know, I was having an amazing product experience. So it was just natural for me to share with my friends and family. And very quickly it turned into like this little side business. Sorry, my baby just woke up. I was doing, you know, kind of like telling people about these amazing shakes and how amazing I was feeling just in the pockets of my time, you know, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And very quickly I was taking home more money with this new business than I was with Nike. And I looked at my husband and said, I'm done with this rat race. I'm done with it. Like, I'm helping people feel amazing. And, you know, this could be the vehicle in which I could use to just serve on a much bigger level. And so, you know, 3 months into my journey, I left Nike. I got 10 seconds of courage, and I just walked in and said, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm done. And I went home to be a stay-at-home mom, a work-at-home mom. And I was so fulfilled on so many levels, because not only was I helping people get healthy, but I was also helping them do what I did. And, you know, my journey has been, I've now been doing what I'm doing for a year and a half, and I got pregnant again and had my third son. And during my pregnancy, I definitely I didn't put the brakes on, but I just I wasn't playing at the level that I knew I could play at. And I kind of wasn't, I was playing small. And I decided very quickly after he was born, and once I my hormones leveled out, that it was time, that I was ready for the success that I knew was going to come to me if I worked the way I was supposed to work this business. And so, during that entire year, I was pouring a lot of very intentional time into personal development, getting my ego in check, really, really being open to changing into the person that God intended me to be. And I'm still obviously changing on so many levels, but I finally got to a point just, a couple months ago that I started treating this like a business. And it's been paying me like a business, which is just amazing. Like, I send my paycheck to my husband every Monday, just so proud. Like, look at how many lives I've changed over the last week. Like, this is just so awesome. And I have so many amazing people that I'm aligned with, both financially and not, that have just, so enriched my life. So I realized, this 20-year career that I had leading up to now was really preparing me to be a leader and not be afraid to kind of stand on my own and go first and figure this out. Even though there's so many people who have gone before me and figured out like all the basics, it's really, you have to carve your own way in this journey. And I feel like I'm just so grateful for the people that have come into my life because of it. Ashley, you are one of them. And just like, all that has transpired over the last year and a half since just getting out of my comfort zone and saying, like, finally, yes, I'll do this, even though I was, it's like I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have said yes, 2 years ago, but I just didn't understand it. And now it's like I have such an unshakable belief in network marketing at this point. It is crazy. Like, I definitely used to be I was the biggest skeptic, and I thought I was going to be the one to find the loophole. Like, I was going to be the one to find that. That was going to be me. I was going to uncover network marketing and uncover like all of this stuff. And here I am. I'm just like, I'm so grateful for it. And I'm so grateful for the company that I'm aligned with, because it is completely in alignment with who I am and how I want to show up in the world. So that I can not only be the mom that I want to be, but the woman and the leader that I want to be. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was, for me, that was really a big thing for like aligning myself like with you in regards to the Conscious Motherhood Project, because when you and I first started talking, our like beliefs and what we really wanted to do really aligned quite well, which made it really easy for us to work together.
Yes.
Now, you were saying a bit about network marketing. Like, I know there's a lot of people out there that have all of these really big misconceptions. So what were the biggest like misconceptions or myths that you used to believe but now don't?
I think a lot of people throw around that like pyramid scheme, and really what I think that represents is nobody wants to feel like that guy in the room who is trying to get their friends to buy into their business so they can make money off their friends. And that was, I didn't want to feel that. I didn't want to feel like my friends were feeling taken advantage of. And in reality, it's not even close to that, because everybody comes into this with the same opportunity, like to make money. Like, there's so many people who outrank their sponsor, who earn their sponsors. So it's like everybody, it's all about team, and it's all about like, I take a leadership role because I know what I need and I want to be that for other people. And so
That's it.
I take that on myself, but people don't have to do that, so it's I don't know. I feel like there's so many misconceptions, but I think the biggest thing is just that we as network marketers have not done a great job of painting a very real picture about what this industry is all about. That's I try to be, especially on social media, like super real. Like, this is hard freaking work, but I like to work.
Oh yeah.
So it's that, and like, we're not sitting on the beach. Like, you're not going to like enroll this many people and then sit on the beach and just like check out. It's like, you're enrolling this many people. Your business is only as strong as your network, and you have to keep networking. And the leaders of our company work harder than anybody else.
Oh,
They
yeah.
work harder that, you know, it's not like you don't see them yes, they vacation because they've earned it, but they're probably still working and connecting with people on vacation. So
yeah, that's it.
I have to get Austin. Hold
That's
on.
okay.
Okay.
Go get him. I've got some other questions for you.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to get him a bottle. Sorry.
All good. This is part of the reason why, like, we do what we do, is because we want to be able to just live authentically, and just if we have to go get our children and bring them with us, then that's exactly how we've got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely challenging at times, because I feel like sometimes, I mean, I don't have a nanny or anyone to help me. You know, thankfully my older two kids are in nursery school on Wednesdays and Fridays. So now I have a little bit more free time, but I still have my youngest. But, you know, and so that's a little bit challenging for me, because I want to do so much more.
Yeah, I get
that I feel like sometimes I have to, you know, but it's also taught me to be really efficient with my time. That if I only have 2 hours a day, that I got to be smart about those 2 hours, turn Facebook off, turn the TV off. Like, I am focusing those 2 hours on income producing activities. And so it is, you know, it's a beautiful thing that you can build a multi-million-dollar business on 2 hours a day. Like that is insane. So, I mean, I'm not a multi-millionaire yet, but
that's it yet. All about language. So I just have some, now that you've kind of answered all about like what you do and kind of who you are, I just have some like really kind of quick fire questions for you. Okay. These questions are just ones that I find that a lot of people don't get asked quite a lot, like enough, if that makes sense. So like, for example, like, where do you feel most like yourself?
I feel most like I am myself when I'm on a date night with my husband.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because we're going on our first date night tomorrow night that we've been on in like a month and a half. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to dress up and put on heels. Like, and that's just
human again.
Yeah, that's just like the season of life that we're in right now with 3 kids, you know, and they're all young. So, and I feel most like myself when I'm having conversations like that. Like, I feel most lit up and just on fire when I'm having, I call them high frequency conversations. Like when I'm having conversations with my good friends or just people who are in my life who are on the same trajectory as me, or who just pour so much of themselves into everything they do. I get so much energy from that. And I feel like my highest self, definitely in those kinds of conversations. I had coffee with a girlfriend today. She's just a new friend and we're in the same business and not financially linked. And we spent an hour and a half just like chatting about just life and how similar we are, and you know how our goals and dreams and things like that. And it's just it was just, I walked away going, well, one, I would never have reached out to her had I not had the guts to do so and want to move forward with my development, because I always say, like, my ego is extroverted, but my soul is introverted. Like, I'm somewhat of an introvert. But two, it was such a really great conversation and so rich. And neither of us wanted to look at our phones or feel like we wanted to, we had other places to be. And it was just like, we were so present and in the moment. And just really excited to be there. That I think those are the moments when I'm talking to people and connecting people and finding out what makes them tick and all of that stuff, that I feel the most alive. That, or on an adventure with my kids. Like, we go camping a lot. That's like super fun. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of your camping pictures and stuff, which kind of leads into like my next question. Like, where is your favorite place to be?
This one's a really tough one because I grew up on the beach in Southern California, and I love being down there. Now, to me, now having lived away from there for 5 years, it feels like home. When I was there, it didn't feel like home, but now that feels like home. So I'd say either in Encinitas on the beach, eating a burrito, or up in the mountains somewhere, just in the woods, snowboarding, whatever. Like, I don't know, just outside.
Yeah, I was gonna say you seem like a very kind of like outside, get into nature kind of person, which is amazing. I feel like our kids generation are really gonna go through this kind of struggle within themselves and within society, where you've got all this technology that's out there that's kind of trying to keep them inside, and then you've got the fact that kids need to be outside. And also, like, with all the way especially over here in Australia, like, all of the houses are getting smaller and smaller, so there's now less backyards.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So my next question, who do you think has been the biggest influence on the person you are today?
My dad. My dad has been, I would just say my dad and myself, which sounds so like weird, but my dad has definitely been the biggest influencer he taught me my work ethic. He taught me, if I have an issue, a problem I need solved, I call my dad and he'll talk me through it. He's also been, my father was a minister for 13 years, so he's been a real guiding light in my faith and has helped keep me very grounded, but also very real. Like, I will talk about Jesus until I'm blue in the face, but I'm also super real. Like, it's like, I get it. I get it that it's not everyone's religion. It is my truth. And he's helped me kind of just open my mind to, like, you don't have to be a weird Christian. It's like, you can just be like a normal, does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Because I know that we see kind of like all the extremists of each different religion as well. We are human, and we have our human needs, and
absolutely. Yeah, and it's just like respect, like this uniform respect. Like, I don't care what religion you are, I respect you as a human, and I would expect the same respect back. So, I think, so yeah, my dad for sure. And the reason why I said me is really just because of the personal development I've poured into myself over the last year. Like, I had to take that initiative, and I realized that nobody was going to come and save me.
That's
like,
it.
Nobody's going to come to your rescue. Like, you're on your own. Like, you might have someone that like helps influence you in a certain way. But, so I've really taken it upon myself to work on myself. And I feel like that's been, as a woman, super empowering. I mean, just as a human, it's super empowering. So I've really taken it upon myself to make sure that my mental state is I'm always in a decent mental state, because if I'm not, then I can't be a good mom. I can't be a good wife. I'm not showing up as the leader I want to show up as. So that's really on me, not anyone else.
Yeah, that's it. Well, this is kind of a bit of it can be a deep question for some, but if you only had one day left to live, what would you do first?
Fly down to California to see my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
just get everyone in my parents' house and sit and talk and just be with them. Like, that's it. Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry. Yeah. My family is just everything. My parents always said when growing up, oh my gosh, I don't know why this is evoking so much emotion. Like, when my parents always said growing up, you can't choose your family. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. So be kind to one another and do the right thing. I'm one of 4 kids. I have a younger sister and 2 older brothers, and my mom had 4 kids in 5 years. So we're all really close in age, and we all have a bunch of kids. And we're just at a time in our life where it's all about just being together and supporting each other through the trials and tribulations and all of it. So yeah, the first thing I would do is get my family and get on a plane and get down to California.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, family is definitely a big one for me. I think that kind of heightens as well when you have kids, because because you kind of don't know what it's like until you have kids, because you've got family and stuff, and you go through your day-to-day life, but then once you have kids, it's like, holy crap, like now, like family kind of like becomes like the main thing in your life. So because like you want to kind of be that guiding light and be the example and everything.
We're spinning up.
That's all good. So I don't know how he's sleeping through this, but Alfie's still asleep.
I love it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Okay, so, right. If you were to identify with one fictional character from a book, show, or movie, who would it be?
If I was to identify with a fictional character, oh my gosh. Harry Potter?
Why is that?
I don't know. I think there's just something so powerful about his fearlessness. I just love the idea of, I don't know, like there's something powerful about his loyalty and his fearlessness. And, he goes up against Voldemort without any reserve. Like he knows that it's his duty to do it, even though it's, it could probably be done other ways. He gets that that's his duty and that's his destiny. And so he follows through without fear. And then with his friends and his teachers and everyone else, he's just so incredibly loyal. So I think that would be why.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit like, if you look at it like that, like it's kind of like your life currently as well. Like you're now kind of on this path that you've said yes to it. Like it'd be like Harry Potter, like he has to say yes, but ultimately he understands the responsibility that he has to just keep going.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Now, do you believe in love at first sight?
You mean love of a partner at first sight? Or
just in general, love.
I mean,
because you gotta remember.
Because I feel like there's love in friendship, and I feel like there's there's love obviously in like my husband and that kind of stuff. Yep. I think there's something to be said for like the chemical reaction that we give off when we first meet our partner or whatever. And then, obviously the chemicals that run through our bodies during that first 6-month period. But I feel like ultimately you grow into love, like the kind that we all look for. It's like, I think some people in the beginning can confuse lust with love. And, these chemicals and fuzzy feelings are like, yes, while you could grow into love in the long run. Even with my kids, like it takes me a minute to bond to them. Yes, I love them, but and when I first see them, it's like, yes, I love you and I would do anything for you, but it takes a minute to like really create that bond. Like you have to get to know each other. Like even though I carried him, for 10 months in my womb and we have been so connected for so long, like we have that eternal connection, we also are just getting to know each other. So I find myself every day saying like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. Like I love you more than I did yesterday. And I think the same goes with friendships and my husband and even my family. It's like, you just start to love on different levels. Yeah. That I think, I don't know. Yes, you can feel things at first sight. Sure. Like I'll look at David Beckham and he's hot. Like, yeah, I can feel something, but, like I think the true love that you're talking about, or like the real lasting love, it has to be grown over time.
Yeah. So that also leads into the next question. Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes. I believe in twin flames. Sure. I believe, I believe, but I also believe that, I don't know. I think it goes back into the same thing. It's like you choose the person that you spend the rest of your life with, and you make a conscious choice, whether or not they were chosen by God. Like, nothing is an accident. I don't think anything is an accident in this world. So whether or not you choose that person, or that person gets chosen for you, or whatever that looks like, in some cultures it's chosen for you, but he is like staring at the light. I believe that nothing is an accident. So if you're choosing your partner and you decide to journey this life together, then yes, your souls are one and they are your mate.
That's awesome. So what does vulnerability mean there? What does vulnerability mean to you, and what has the ability to make you vulnerable?
Oh my gosh. Well, how deep do you want to get? So, it's funny because I'm going through this journey, and this journey right now, and I definitely have a lot of masculine energy. I have 2 older brothers and my father, who have been really huge in my life in terms of people I lean on and lean into when I'm going through big moments in my life. And I've always, just been a tomboy, that it's really hard for me to tap into my feminine energy sometimes, because I feel like that's when I'm most vulnerable. So even in making new friends, like sometimes I keep my guard up or I don't connect the way we connect as women, like in conversation. I don't tell them everything about myself in one sitting. It's like it takes me a while to build that rapport. So I feel like that can make me feel vulnerable if I've let someone in too deep, too early on in a relationship. That can make me feel vulnerable. If you really want to talk about it, like in the bedroom, that makes me feel vulnerable. Like, tapping into that feminine side and really feeling the bliss of what, God intended for, a husband and a wife, or partners, or whatever. So, that's way more deep than I would ever want to get on a call like this. But that definitely makes me feel super vulnerable. But I think also just not knowing. I'm a person who likes to be in control, and not necessarily control the outcome, but control what's happening throughout the process. And I feel like sometimes if I'm out of control, like as simple as like tonight, I'm going out to dinner with a girlfriend, and my husband's going to do dinner and bedtime with all 3 kids. And like, even that, I'm like writing a list and doing all these things. And I'm like, I know they're going to have an awesome time, probably even more awesome time with Dad than they would with me. But being out of that control makes me feel vulnerable, and that things aren't going to get done the right way, even though there is no right way.
That's it. Oh, yes. This one decided that he'd wake up. I could see like his little head kind of popped up in the corner.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wake. I can take those out.
If money didn't matter, what would you be doing?
What I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If money didn't matter, because I know the money will come. Like I have no doubt that I'm going to be successful in what I'm doing now. Like, that's not even part of it. What gets me lit up is helping people find a switch to their light. And I feel like this is a vehicle right now in which I can do so. Long term, I want to be doing what I'm doing on maybe just a different level. But yeah, I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing now. And I retire my husband. That's a big goal of mine, is to get him out of corporate America if he chooses that. I really want to be able to give him the choice. And, he's so talented and so smart, and just has everything that he needs to start the company that he's been dying to start for years. Except he just, he's staying in corporate America because it's safe right now. And we have 3 kids, and, so I know he's making that sacrifice for me. So I'm working my ass off so that I can give him that gift back, when it's time. So, if money was of no option, or no, like if money and time were of no, I don't know, necessity, I'd probably be doing something very similar to what I'm doing now.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. So if you could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would it be?
Oh my gosh, on a beach in Bali or something. Definitely. Like, I'm ready for some sort of vacation like that. Like, definitely either, hi. You want to come too? Yeah. uh, on a beach in somewhere tropical or on the coast of Italy, just sipping cappuccinos and drinking Sauvignon Blanc and eating pesto pasta. That sounds amazing too.
Sound amazing. I love pasta.
Yeah, it's on the Amalfi Coast in Cinque Terre. It is just like ridiculous. It's so good, so good.
Are you gonna? Okay. So what would be your favorite memory?
My favorite memory. Oh my gosh, I'm scrolling through the Rolodex of memories. So we didn't have a lot of money growing up. My father was a minister and 4 kids in 5 years. So my parents worked their tails off to give us an amazing life. And we didn't do, one of the things that my parents always made sure that we did was vacation every year. And it didn't matter, it wasn't like, sometimes they were really nice vacations. Like we went to Hawaii one year for their 20-year anniversary and they renewed their vows. And that was just magical. And it was just the 6 of us. Because it was before any of us were married or kids or anything like that. But we also did these road trips where to Arizona to visit some family, and we would be in the car for 6 hours, and we always stop at this ice cream spot along the way, and just the games we would play and the super innocent, like at the time they just felt so monotonous, but looking back it was just I'm so grateful for that time, and like for the fact that my parents like didn't let not having a ton of money stop them from providing us experiences. A good girlfriend of mine the other day said, I will never say no to experiences. I will only say no to things. So if my kids want to do something, I will not say no. And I was like, wow, that's really powerful. And I think that's something that my parents instilled in me at a very young age. So I guess it's not necessarily one particular moment in time, but just like over time, what those experiences did for us every single year, I think were really magical.
Oh, that's awesome. What is the craziest thing you have ever done?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I don't know. Like, how rated is this? I mean, no, I'm just kidding. The craziest thing that I have ever done, I don't know. I mean, I've done a lot of like crazy things. I've lived quite a few different lives. I traveled through Europe at 18 with some friends, and we just spent a month like going through Europe and just having a blast. That was super fun. I've been snowboarding in Austria. Probably actually the craziest thing that it's not what I've done, but I've made other people experience. My husband and I, we decided that to have a really small ceremony, and we got married at the top of Mount Hood in a tiny stone cabin. And all of our guests had to take a snowcat up to from the lodge up to the cabin. And, people who were afraid of heights and people who were not down with like going in a snowcat in their nice clothes up to this cabin. And it was such the photos are just insane, but it was such a magical experience to get married at the top of this mountain with 30 of our closest friends and family, and get these people outside their comfort zone and just experience like something just so amazing. That's probably the craziest thing I ever done, because that was a big investment on our part to have our wedding up there, and then also to get that many people that far outside their comfort zone. That was probably the craziest thing that we've ever done.
That is really crazy. I love that. I love that. Okay, so what's one book, TV show, movie, or song you're embarrassed to admit you enjoy?
Oh my gosh, TV show, easy. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Like the, it's like the making the team or something. I was a cheerleader growing up, and I just have this obsession with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And when working at Nike, one of my good friends actually has a really close tie with with DCC, or Dallas Cowboys, and we went there because I was in that industry. We went there for some market travel, and I was 6 months pregnant with Cole, my second, and they made me an honorary Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. So I have like this plaque and all of this stuff because he knew how obsessed I was. So it's totally a guilty pleasure, but I love it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. This is a good one. How do you think your parents would have described you as a child?
Rebellious.
How so?
I just did my own. I was super independent, and I say rebellious not in a disrespectful way. I mean, that was like more towards the end of my teenage years. But rebellious meaning like I just did my own thing. I was Miss Independent. I, from a very young age, was like, Mom, you're not doing my hair anymore. I'm going to choose my own clothes. Like I just did my own. I walked, like I was on a different planet. And I just owned it. So I'd say like rebellious in that nature.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's one thing that you would say makes you unique?
One thing that makes me unique. I don't know. Like I try not to let obstacles like slow me down. So a lot of people would like look at children as obstacles, as sad as that is, like, and they slow their life down because of it. And I look at them as just more fuel to my fire, and little companions that I can like, have fun with, and bring along for the ride. My kids have been camping at like 6 weeks old and flying and all that stuff. I'm like, we're just getting out and doing it. So I'd say that. And I don't know, maybe my ability to adapt to different circumstances. Even though I might be like screaming on the inside, I can definitely show up in a room of people where I don't know anyone, and try to, like meet everyone, and, just not make it look like I'm dying inside. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a question that you'd have to ask somebody else, because it's really hard for me to be objective. I think maybe another thing. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Question to ask people, because then they go, wow, like it's one of those kind of like self-discovery questions.
Yeah.
Everyone has to be asked at some point. And
yeah. Totally. Like, I feel like it's a really good question to ask, because I really have no idea. I don't know what makes me different. I think it's just me and who I am and my experiences, and how I can speak many different languages, not like actual languages, but just like I can speak a lot of different languages because I've experienced so many things in my short years on the earth. Like I've lived quite a few lives, and and I say that like just by the grace of God, I've survived quite a few things, and I, because of that experience, I can relate on a deeper level. I feel like than had I not had those experiences. Maybe that makes me candy. I don't know.
Well, what do you believe is currently missing from your life?
What do I believe that is currently missing from my life? I mean, I have everything that I've ever prayed for. I have a beautiful home with a roof over my head. I have kids. I have a loving husband. I don't think there's anything missing. I think now, I mean, my husband might say a girl. I don't think he really would, but I think if anything, I don't know. I think it's just that, like, reaching that goal of being in a place where we're so financially secure that we can give on such a bigger level, and show up in such a different way. And, you know, serve on a different level, like all of that. Like, I think that's the biggest stuff that is missing from my life right now. It's just like being able to write a check to people who need it. You know, I feel like that, to me, like having that freedom, not only just writing a check, but being able to like give my time the way I want to. Because I feel like that's almost more powerful than money, is like, where can I serve other people? Like right now, I don't have the time. I'm creating time from nothing to run my business and be a good mom and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to really focus on creating that, giving myself that space to create that time to give.
Awesome. Awesome. If you were to give your 16-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Stay the course. Just go forward. Like, I mean, always move forward. Always move forward. That is what I would say to her. Cause I you know, I had my head on straight from a very young age. I just got distracted. And you know, I'm yellow, for those of you who are familiar with the color personalities. I see bright, shiny things and I'm like, ooh, yes, let's go over that way. Ooh, yes. And it's like, if I could just stay the course and stay focused, which now I'm doing, I could be so much more productive and just do so much more. So yeah, stay the course. And I wouldn't change a thing about my journey. I've made weird mistakes. I've done everything in the book, and I'll say I have not failed one time in my life, because every single thing that I've done, and a girlfriend of mine told me that the other day, because I'm like, well, I failed at this and I failed at that. She's like, you've never failed in your entire life. Like, every single thing that you have done has been just a learning opportunity. I'm like, that's such a great way to put it, because I feel like sometimes you can get distracted by the feelings of failure, and distracted by like feeling like you're not enough. And it just, for me, I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't change a thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would pretty much say that very, very similar things, like stay the course, don't get distracted, don't stay stagnant, just keep growing. That's amazing. If you were given 30 seconds to tell the whole world something, what would it be?
Just live out loud. It's funny, I put this on my Facebook the other day. If I had one thing that I could say to the world, is live out loud. Live your truth. Whatever that is for you, live it. Don't be afraid to be authentic. Don't be afraid of what other people are going to think, because they're going to think it anyway. Like, I'm getting so fired up. Like, they are going to think it anyway. Nobody's opinions are going to pay your bills. Like, you are the one who's in control. You are the one with the power. Step into that power and stand in your truth. And when you do that and you shine your light as bright as you possibly can, your tribe will find you. They will find you. All these people that you're trying to find, they will find you, because you all are shining that same bright light, and you'll see each other by so many different ways, but you will see each other. So just live your life out loud. Don't be afraid to stand for what you believe in, whatever it is. Like, just go for it and live in your truth and stand in your truth, and just get yourself rooted down, so that whenever the waves come crashing or the wind comes, like, you are rooted in that truth.
Love it. What's one thing that not many people know about you?
One thing that not many people know about me is that I want people to know this about me, but I guess that means that I should tell people. I'm in my second marriage. My first, I would say that I failed at, but and this was what I was talking about with my girlfriend, and she was like, "You didn't fail. It was a lesson that needed to be learned, and it was all it all brought to you to where you are today. So that's one thing that people don't know about me, is that I was married before I am married to Scott. So, and he's a wonderful man. I have not an ill word to speak of him. He is just a fantastic human being. It was not the right time. So that's why I think I stumbled a little bit on your soulmate question, because I feel like I'm not the authority to speak on that. But yeah, I don't know. That's one thing that I've been not hiding, but not speaking loudly about. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Who knows what sorts of things are going to open up for you now that you're kind of speaking more into your truth.
Yep, exactly.
So this is my last question, but what do you have planned for yourself in the next 90 days?
Oh my gosh. So much goodness. Like, I have chills. I've really I'm not playing small anymore. I'm not playing small. Like, I am just done with it. For those of you who follow me or know me, like, you will see this energetic shift in the way I talk and the way I do my life. Because I'm done with playing small. I've done it for too long, and my kids deserve such a better life, and I deserve to to be able to chase my dreams. So I have some big goals in my business in network marketing. For those of you who are involved in the same company I am, my goal for the 90 days is 2-star executive. If you're not involved in my company, don't worry about it. But it's a big deal. So that's my goal, and I have no doubt that I'm going to hit it. No doubt in my mind.
For those who don't know, like, what that means, can you just quickly explain that, like how much money and that kind of stuff? And
yeah, so it's essentially a residual income, but it's a pretty substantial amount in US. Oh my gosh, that's really cute. He's got his toast. Yeah, so that's closer. Yeah, so it's between, I want to say the range is $52,000 to $78,000 yeah. A year annually in residual income, meaning that if I could make way more than that because we're paid on payments, but residually, meaning that if I stopped working tomorrow, I could still make that income for the next few years.
Yeah.
And that money would just still accumulate. So, and I think that's really powerful, because for any of you who are good with money, having your money work for you is a very powerful thing. And if you're not, I highly recommend Tony Robbins' 7 Steps of like Mastering the Game. I think I'm going through it right now. It's phenomenal. But yeah, your money should be working for you. So if you have residual bills, you should have residual income. And once you learn the power of it, there's a quote, I don't remember who said it. Once you understand the power of residual income, you will walk through a brick wall to get it. So that is why I'm on a mission. But more so, it's just because, like, for me, it represents that, one, I'm doing the work. I'm a yellow, like I said earlier. So it's like, I like to have more fun than I do like to do the work. So it represents I'm doing the work that I need to do. 2, it represents that means that I've changed a significant amount of people's lives. And that's what really lights me up, because this business is not about like getting people and, like having them come into your organization and you're like, bye, thanks for that. It's like, it's really about building them up and helping them chase their goals and helping them chase their dreams, helping them get healthy, because we're in the health and wellness industry. I mean, all of it. So that's really representative of not only all the lives that are changed, but just me setting a goal and actually hitting it. Like, how huge is that? So, I mean, for anyone who's on a journey anywhere, no matter what you're doing, you set a goal to open your own business. You set a goal to lose 10 pounds. You set a goal to, finish a marathon. Like, if you put in the work, you'll finish it. And that is so, I just get so excited about that. So it's so many different things, but yeah.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, because I know that for me, like, I started out as an actor and a musician. So us actors and musicians, like we understand kind of like the concept of residual income because we have royalties.
Yep.
So for a musician, like you go out and you write your songs, you record them, and then every time that song gets played, you get money. And that's very, very much like network marketing, where whenever a product is bought again and again and again, you get paid every time on that too. So, and that's for me, because I remember like I was very, very much the same. Like I didn't really know what network marketing was. Like I grew up using like products from Avon, and I knew about Nutrimetics and Tupperware and all that kind of stuff. But for me, like I never really understood it. Like I'm in my third network marketing company now, and for me that's something not many people know about me. So it's one of those things where like people will go out and they'll like, for especially musicians and actors and stuff, they will always go out and their goal is to record music so that they can keep getting that income. But then there's people out there that understand that, but then they don't understand network marketing. If that makes sense. So it's like, it's just a shift of mindset.
Totally.
Yeah. But thank you so much for your time. It's been absolutely amazing. Part of the reason why I really wanted to do this was like there was so many, like I had like a million questions, and I was going through and I'm like, you've answered that one, you've answered that one. And like for me, it's just great to get to know the women in my life, and also the women that have either directly or indirectly kind of helped me on my journey. So thank you so much for your collaboration. I absolutely love the crap out of what you're contributing.
Thank you.
I used to be a red.
Yeah.
With a secondary yellow.
Okay.
But you would know from like I've been on my journey. I've gone from being a primary red that doesn't know how to have fun but likes fun, to being a primary yellow who uses their red to drive what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. And Ashley, thank you. I mean, I just think that the way that you step outside your comfort zone, I mean, I've only known you really for a few months now. I mean, it's not been that long. And just the growth that I've seen in you has been just phenomenal. And I always love the quote that you have to be brave with your life so that others can be brave with theirs. And I think just the way that you are moving and shaking is so inspiring. And I think that the people of Adelaide have a lot to look out for with you. And I'm super proud of you. So thank you very much for just including me in this process.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for being my first person that I've interviewed. Like I've wanted to interview people for a long time. So thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.